Shalom, shalom. I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shad, follow Yahweh with the servants, right? Back at another video through the Spirit, right? So this quick little lesson through the Spirit, man, quick class, right? Quick Sabbath message, right? So I'm go to 2 Corinthians chapter 3. It's like 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 3. It says, giving no offense in anything that the ministry be blamed, right? So we want to make sure, right, that we're giving no offense to the ministry. And so like let me make sure my screen is sharing. All right, all right, there we go. So boom. So we don't want to be we want to make sure that we bring no offense to the ministry and offense to anything, right? Because we can put a bad rep on the ministry, you know what I'm saying, by our actions or the things that we do. We got to remember at the end of the day who we represent, right? We got to remember that we represent the Most High, Yahweh Shemiah Shai. So wherever we go at, right, we got to remember let be a representation of Him, right? So with that being said, we got to watch how we moving in this thing, right? Watch how we living, right? Watch how we you know what I'm saying, how we treat our wives, how we treat our families, how we on the highways and byways, how we at work and things like that, because we don't want to bring any offense or blame to the ministry, right? It says I'm gonna get another precept in 2 Peter 3 and 14, right? It says, wherefore, beloved, seeing that ye look for such things, be diligent that ye may be found of him in peace, without spot and blameless. So we want to make sure that we move without a spot and being blameless. We want to be blameless thing, right? Blameless as possible. You know what I mean? Right? So let's go to the next preacher. Let's keep going. Let's keep reading. Right? It says, but in all things approving ourselves as the ministers of Yahweh, right? In patience, right? In afflictions, right? We got to make sure in all things that we go through, right? The different trials and tribulations, that we still have to be servants of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. That's what it means to be a minister, a servant, right? We are servants of the Lord. So we always, no matter what's going on, right? We got to always be, again, approving ourselves to the ministry, right? And it says in much patience, right? You got to have patience in this thing, right? It's a lot of things, right, that don't happen when you want to, right? Then and there. Some things you want at this immediate time, but you got to have patience, right? Some things that you want to do at this immediate time, but you got to have patience, right? So we got to continue to have patience in these things, right? As a servant, right? In afflictions, we go through different afflictions, whether it be with your job, right, with your home, right? We could be with bills. It could be affliction in your health, right? It could be any type of affliction, but we as servants, right, we go through afflictions, right? But we got to continue, right, to be that sincere servant of Yahweh Shemiah Shai, right? And continue to be blameless as well, right? In necessities, right? In distresses. It's a lot of necessities that we have, right? One of the chief things is money, right? You might not have the bread that you're really looking for. You might couldn't pay this bill this week or whatever it might be, right? But we got to continue, right, to be those sincere servants, right, of Yahweh Shemiah Shai, right? I'm gonna get a precept real fast. Let me look for it. All right. So again, it's just a quick little edification through the Spirit, right? Exhortation through the Spirit, right? Let me see. It's like it. That's not what I was looking for. There we go. Because Yahweh Shai, right? We gotta move like Yahweh Shai, because he went through a lot of affliction, right? He went through a lot of turmoil, right? He went through a lot of different things, right? He had people turn their back on him, right? Yeah, he had people spit on him, smote him, right? He went through a lot of things, but he still endured. He still continued to be that servant of Yahweh, right? It says this 1 Peter 2 and 21, right? It says, for even hereunto were ye called, because of Mashiach also suffered for us, right? So the Lord, he suffered, right? He went through those afflictions. He went through those distresses, necessities, right? Leaving us an example, right? That we should follow his steps, right? So he left a prime example that we should follow his steps. Now think about this. Even though through all the stuff, right, that Yahushua went through, right, he still remained perfect. He still kept the commandments, if you understand what it's saying. So even though he was going through, he was struggling, right, he didn't have their own trials and affliction, he still kept laws, statutes, commandments, right? He still was being sincere. He still was walking in integrity. He still was being diligent, being sincere, right, through all the things that was going on with him, right? And that's the example that we gotta follow. No matter what's going on, right? We still trying to strive for perfection. We still seeking the kingdom of heaven. No matter what is going on in our lives, we gotta continue to focus on the kingdom, right? We gotta continue to strive for perfection, right? We gotta continue on doing those things, right? No matter what's going on, right? Who did no sin, neither was God found in his mouth, and he did no sin, even through all those things, right? He did no sin. And so he's that example of us to strive to be like, right? To push ourselves to be like. He's that goal, right? You know how everybody says, like, this is my goal, my goal is to gain 50 pounds, or my goal is to lose 50 pounds, or I'm supposed to gain some muscle mass, or my goal is to open my business, or my goal is to be to earn $1,000 to some, whatever your different goals we have different carnal goals, but what about having spiritual goals? Setting a spiritual goal and saying, you know what, man, I truly want to be like Yahushua. You know what I'm saying? I truly want to strive to be like him, per se. I want to strive to be like him. You know what I'm saying? I want to fight to try to be like the Lord, right? As in strive for perfection and keeping the commandments, right? Walking in integrity, not being a hypocrite, right? That's what we should strive for, right? So let's go back to 2 Corinthians chapter 6, and we're gonna read. It says, in stripes, right? In imprisonments, in tumults, right? And those stripes is coming. Those imprisonments is coming, right? We got to understand that time is coming, right? Right now, it's kind of, it's kind of chill right now. Ain't nobody really on our back about us going out on the highways and byways, teaching the gospel, wearing our fringes, professing the name of the Lord, right? Ain't nobody tripping on that. But the time is going to come where they are going to be doing those things, right? Let me get a couple precepts, right? Revelation 2 and 10. I'm gonna get that one. Then I'm gonna get one in 2nd Esdras chapter 16 as well, right? But this Revelation 2 and 10 says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison that ye may be tried. So even though we go through these things, right, we gotta continue to be blameless, right? Bringing no offense to the ministry, striving for perfection, keeping these commandments to the best of our abilities, even though all these things may be going on or befall us, right? Because that's why Yahushua was that example, right? He was in his flesh. He walked amongst his people, right? He did no sin, but also he suffered, right? So that's just how it is, right? It says that you may be tried, and you have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death. So we got to continue to be faithful to Yahweh Yahushua unto death, right? And I will give thee a crown of life, right? So we got to continue on, right? We got to continue on moving, right, in that spirit, right, of the example Yahushua, right? And I want to get this in 2nd Esdras as well, because it still got to be understood. This, and I'm 2nd Esdras chapter 16, right? Again, it got to be understood that, hey man, it ain't always gonna be a cakewalk in this truth, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't always have cakewalk moments, man. You got brothers and sisters that be going through it, they be catching hell, and it be stuff going on, right? But no matter what's going on in your life, bro, you gotta keep pressing forward, brother or sister. You gotta keep pressing forward, right, towards that mark, right, towards that goal, right, to seeking the kingdom, man. You gotta be constantly pressing forward, moving forward, right? Because we don't need to be looking back, right? So let's get this. I want to get this precept right here. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get 71, 16 and 71. It says, I'm gonna get 70. Yeah, 70. They're gonna go hard, right? So it says, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Right, so it's going to be uprises towards the people that fear the Lord, right? It says, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. So that time is coming. That time is going to come, right? Where they're going to be taking us out, man. They're going to be, you know what I'm saying, grabbing us up, right? Kicking in doors, right? Putting brothers in shackles, handcuffs, right? That time is coming, and we don't know why a lot. We don't know that. We don't know. You don't know what's gonna happen to you, man. But this could happen to you. This could befall you, and if it does, right, you still got to be present for it till tomorrow, right? Still got to be moving the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Remember the example of Yahushua, right? Through the trials and tribulations that when they snatched him up, because he got snatched up. When they snatched him up, what did he do? Right? He continued on with the mission, and we got to continue on with the mission, right? Which is being like Yahweh Shem Yahushua, right? Strive for perfection, keeping these commandments, right? What Ecclesiastes 12:13 say, right? For this is the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, right? We got to continue doing that throughout all these different trials, distresses, and afflictions that we go through, right? And it says, for they shall waste and take away their goods. And even if you in the wilderness, though, don't think it's just gonna be easy if you in the wilderness. Hell, you got, bro, there's gonna be so much going on. You gonna have damn cannibalism going on, famine, different kind of pestilence. It's gonna be like, bro, it's gonna be like a movie, apocalyptic movie, but you're gonna be living it out, right? And you don't know what you might come across, right? You just don't know. It's gonna be a lot going on in those times, right? But keep on going. It says, then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. So it's letting you know, and we gonna be tried though. We gonna be tried. We gonna go through it, right? We gonna go. But we gotta remember the example that the Lord, that Yahweh gave us. Yahweh blessed us with an example, which is Yahweh Shai. So we gotta remember the example and remember how He moved through the Spirit, right? And then we gotta try to move like that, Lord willing, right? It says, hear ye, O my beloved, said the Lord. Behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Remember that too. Your trials coming. Your trouble is coming. Yes, someone's going to have our goods wasted, cast out of our houses, right? But we got to continue to fear the Lord, right? Because the Lord said, hey, I'll deliver you. And you also might have to end up being a martyr, right? But what remember the Lord said, hey, I will give thee a crown of life. So we just got to remember these things, right? Throughout, no matter what's going on or whatever comes our way, right? Just continue to be that blameless and sincere servant, right? Moving without offense, right? It says, let's go back to 2 Corinthians. Let me see what time I'm at. Okay. 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 5 was that in stripes, imprisonments, and tumults, and labors, and watchings, and fastings, by pureness, by knowledge, by long suffering, by kindness, by the Holy Ghost, by love unfeigned. Right? So by pureness, right? What's the pureness, right? Let's go to it. The pureness is keeping the law. Right? Let's go to Psalms 19. Let's say Psalms 19:7. Book of Psalms 19, verse 7. It says, the law of the Lord is perfect, right? Converting the soul. The testament of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. The statutes of the Lord are right, rejoicing the hearts. The commandment of the Lord is pure, right? So the commandment of the Lord is pure. So we gotta be having that on our mind. We gotta be meditating on that. Also, like I wasn't sharing it, but we gotta be having that on our mind. We gotta be meditating on that. It says enlightening the eyes, right? So that's what we gotta have our mind on, right? And it's another precept I want to get to. I want to say it's in 17. Is it in 17? Make sure. Bear with me. I'm gonna go to this search bar real fast. Search it up. Search it up real fast. Bear with me. Con. Yeah, this is right on. It's 12 and 6, bro. That's what it was. 12 and 6. Psalms 12 and 6. It says, the words of the Lord are pure words, as silver tried in a furnace of earth, purified 7 times. So the words of the Lord is pure. So we got to be meditating on those pure words, right? Having pure thoughts, right? Let me get this other precept in the book of Titus, right? So the words of the Most High, that is pure, right? The commandment of the Most High, that is pure, right? Right? This Titus 1 and 15. It says, unto the pure are all things pure, but unto them that are defiled and unbelieving is nothing pure. So you don't want to be defiling yourselves in these times, right? You don't want to be unbelieving in the times. How do you defile yourself? By going the hell off. That's how you defile yourself, right? Eating things that's contrary to the law, statutes, commandments, doing things that's contrary to the most high God, believing things that's contrary to Yahweh Shemel Shai. That's how you defile yourself, right? Because you can defile yourself with different ideologies and philosophies and doctrines of men, right? Different traditions of men, you can defile yourself, right? So again, it says, unto the pure, all things are pure, but unto them that are defiled and unbelieving is nothing pure. So straight like that. So you want to make sure that you're meditating, right, and thinking on, right, the commandments of the Lord, the words of the Lord, because these things is pure, right? But even their mind and conscience is defiled, because you can have your mind and conscience defiled, right, by doing that, by thinking things wicked, right? Right? It says, the thoughts of foolishness is sin, right? In the book of Proverbs, paraphrasing greatly, right? So with that being said, you want to make sure your mind is right in these times. What are you really focusing on, right? And this is the thing. When you go through those different trials and tribulations, that's when you really gonna have to have your mind right. That's really when you're gonna have a lot of mental strength, right? A lot of spiritual strength. Because when all hell breaking loose, and this is why I say this too, right? We'll bring out this precept, the classic precept in the book of Isaiah, chapter 33, verse 6, right? It says, let me see my screen. It says, in wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, right? So you got to think about this. When all hell break loose and all those different things going on in the world, a lot of people mind gonna go bad. Why? Because they're gonna be losing faith. They gonna see things that they never seen before, and they gonna go crazy. Might get bugged out, right? They might give up the ghost. Right, so you're gonna have to you're gonna need something to keep you stable. You're gonna need something to hold you together during those times. And that's the words of Yahweh Shemel Shai. That's gonna be able to sustain you, hold you together, right? Keep you sane. Some people might lose their mind, they might go insane because of what they're seeing, right? And when you see it, and if you ever watch any apocalyptic movie, right? As soon as all hell break loose, people minds switch it up, right? All the rules of engagement, all the niceness, all the neighbor, I've been knowing you for good. All that's going out the window, right? You're gonna see people hanging people or whatever. On that movie, like on the movie, I want to say it was Civil War. It was Civil War. On the movie Civil War, right? They had this man. It was lawlessness. That's what it's lawlessness. They gonna go insane in lawlessness, right? Well, they had this man strung up, right, on this. I don't know. It was like these chains or whatever, right? I don't know what the man did, right? But they had him strung up, right? He was bleeding, right? And then you know what I'm saying. Eventually, they unalived him. right? It was crazy, and the people had to witness this. They had to see this going on, right? And it kind of struck a nerve for them, right? They kind of was thinking about it in their mind. It was bugging them out, right? They seen somebody else get unalive, man. It was a lot going on, and that's a example. That movie is a good example of what's to come. You're gonna see a lot of crazy things gonna be going down, right? You're gonna have your mind right. But what did it say? It said, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. We know that's the word of the Lord, right? But we also know that true wisdom is actually, and true wisdom is fear the Lord. So you still got to continue to fear the Lord. That's what it's saying. No matter what's going on, we just got to continue to fear the Lord, keep his commandments, and have faith, right? Because remember what it said in Titus, right? Bible says that mind's defiled and unbelieving. Nothing is pure, right? And let me get another precept on that too. In the book of Matthew, chapter 5, right? Matthew 5, and it says, verse 8, Matthew 5 and 8, it says, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see Yahweh. So it says, blessed are the pure in heart. So you want to make sure that you're keeping your heart pure, your mind pure, right? So let's go back to 2 Corinthians chapter 6. And let's go to, let me see what's going on time wise. I said I'm gonna make it long. I won't be long on this. All right. So it says, by pureness, by knowledge, by long suffering, by kindness, by the Holy Ghost, by love unfeigned, right? And in long suffering, that's part of the fruits of the Spirit as well, though, right? It says, by the word of truth, by the power of Yahweh, by the armor of righteousness on the right hand and on the left. What is that armor, right? That's when you go to Ephesians chapter 6, right? You go to Ephesians chapter 6, right? I'm kind of read a little bit of it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna read the whole thing, but I just want to read a little bit of it so y'all can kind of get a gist real fast. Like I said, let's go a quick little exhortation through the Spirit. But anyways, it says, Ephesians 6 and 10. It says, finally, brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God. That's what just telling you. I think I didn't mean to go click off of it. Let me go back to it on here so y'all can see what I'm right. So when you see what, like it was saying, when it says by the word of truth, by the power of God, by the armor of righteousness, this is the armor of righteousness right here, right? It says put on the whole armor of God that you be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. And that's a real thing. You got to understand, as we are in this walk, we deal with so many things that's spiritual, especially these demons that be coming at us, man, left and right. It's like sometimes you don't get a break. Like you might have a moment where boom, you done fast, you done overcame a demon, right? You kind of coasting. Then out of nowhere, boom, another demon gotta come out of nowhere, right? Something you was never dealing with before. Now you dealing with this now, right? So it's all, and then not only that, it says against spiritual wickedness in high places. You got different wizards, warlocks, witches in high places that's casting spells, right? Like literally, that's what they're doing. Right? These elites, man, they be drinking blood, doing all kind of stuff, man, doing sacrifices, and they spiritual wickedness in high places, right? So just keep that in mind. That's what we're going against, right? And the elites, they know who we are. They know who we are. They against us. They know what's going on, man. Understand that, right? But anyway, it said, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. And when you read about it, we go into it, right? It mentions it's mentioned the breastplate of righteousness, right? The feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace, right? Taking the shield of faith, right? The helmet of salvation, right? This is the armor of righteousness, right? That is talking about in 2 Corinthians chapter 6, right? And we was at verse 7. right? It says by the word of truth, by the power of God, by the armor of righteousness on the right hand and on the left. That's what it's talking about, right? It says by honor and dishonor, by evil report and by in good report, as deceivers and yet true, right? So that's really it on that. You know what I'm saying? I kind of just want to do a quick little exhortation, you know what I'm saying? Quick pre-Sabbath, Sabbath message through the Spirit, you know what I'm saying? Something to kind of meditate on, right? As you enjoy your Shabbat. But again, want to give all honor and glory. And Lord willing, that was edifying, right? But want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, and be it brothers and sisters of mighty, 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 Shalom. Shalom, Kwame Shalom.